What is going on, guys? In this video today, I am genuinely worried for a lot of you guys. So I'm going to be giving you guys 5 of my top tips that will make you act more like the 1% to 5% of Amazon sellers and make you do a lot of the things that they will be doing, and help you to not fall into the trap of being one of these new Amazon FBA sellers and just seeing something on YouTube, trying to start it on your own, and then doing everything not properly, and also following the herd and doing what everyone else does, because that no longer works. And if you guys know, if you follow everyone else, then you're not going to get anything out of it. So you need to learn what the 1 to 5% of Amazon sellers do that are successful, and you need to mimic and copy what they are doing if you want to be successful, because if you follow the rest of the crowd, then you will not be successful in this business. So before we get started in the video, as always, make sure you guys subscribe to the channel, and we have 2,408 subscribers now to our channel. Thank you guys so much once again, as always. And then if you guys want to follow me on Instagram, my Instagram handle is right there on the screen, if you guys can see right there. And then also my email is right here on the screen. You guys can feel free to email me. You can say hello, you can ask me questions, whatever. And if you want to become one of my private students, you can also email me there. And basically that's me teaching you how to do the whole Amazon FBA business from start to finish. And I give you my one-on-one mentorship along with the whole course that teaches you how to do everything, and all of my personal connections in this industry for shipping and different things like that that will help you get so much further, faster, easier, and save you a lot more money, along with a lot of my custom templates and a Facebook group and a ton of other things, but I don't have time to talk about all that right now. But if you guys do want to join that and become one of my private students and have me teach you, then email me there and then we will go from there. So now let's get into the video. So like I already said, this whole video is going to be based around do not follow the crowd, because if you follow the crowd, then I almost can guarantee you that you will fail, and failure is not something that we are trying to go for, obviously. So I would rather you guys succeed and do everything right and do everything the right way, and not fall into the trap of doing what the basic everyone else does. Oh, everyone else does this. Oh, this guy teaches this. And that is how you will end up failing and falling into that trap of being just like everyone else, because that will get you nowhere. And now you have become a part of that giant saturation on Amazon that we see, which is all these sellers who don't know what they're doing, and they are saturating everything with a ton of products that are basically crap and they haven't been done properly, and they are saturating the market, and it's just annoying at this point. But if you really know what you're doing, then all those people are irrelevant, which is 95% of the sellers are irrelevant if you actually know what you're doing. So please do not be one of those 90 or 95% of people, because once again, you're going to be wasting your money, you will fail, and all you will be is an annoyance to the 5 to 10% of successful sellers. So the first thing that I want to talk about here is changing your criteria for product research and not following the crowd. That will go throughout this entire video, is do not follow the crowd. So what I mean by changing the criteria is a lot of these courses or teachers or YouTube gurus or whatever else you guys are learning from, blogs, whatever, they are all telling you the same criteria in order to search for products, and that is not going to work, because thousands of people will be using that same criteria, and we don't want to be doing what everyone else is doing. That won't get us anywhere. That will only make us fail. So you need to change your criteria and make it different from what everyone else is doing. Now, a few different ways you can do that is, for the most part, everyone tries to do lightweight products that are simple, easy to source, easy to put a label on, and get it from China, cheap. That way you can make a good profit on it. Now, feel free to tweak any of those things. Do not feel like, oh, I learned it from this person, so now I have to absolutely do it that way because that's how they taught me. That is not how it works. You need to be different, and you need to not follow the crowd and do your own thing. So if you find a product that is a little bit more expensive, possibly above the $20 price range that everyone wants to stay in, you can go to 40, 50, 60, even up to 100, maybe even 100 or more dollars. Feel free to still look into those products, because if there is a demand for that product, then someone has to fulfill that demand and make the buyers happy, and that could be you. Now, what we see with the saturation now in Amazon is everyone saying, oh, is it too competitive? Is it too saturated? Yes, you have all this saturation from all these people who have no idea how to sell. They are just sourcing and posting on Amazon, and they are just an annoyance to the actual Amazon sellers who are serious and know what they're doing. Don't be one of those people. Yes, it is saturated. Don't be one of the saturated people. You want to be one of the successful sellers that is not saturating the market with a bunch of crap. And you usually see more saturation on those products that I just talked about, the ones that are in the $20 price range. They're light, they're easy, simple to source. Those are the ones who are going to have a ton of saturation. Now, this is why I say be a little bit different, because it becomes a lot easier to sell successfully if you're not thinking like the rest of the herd. So if the rest of the herd is doing exactly the same thing, then you need to be different and change your criteria for finding products, whether that's maybe going with a heavier product because people are too scared to do a heavier product because their teacher told them not to, or their YouTube guru told them not to do that. So now you can go ahead and try things like that. It may seem a little bit more risky to you because you haven't been told to do that, but trust me, that risk is a lot more likely to succeed than just following the crowd, because that will not work for sure. Now, the second thing you need to do that will help you separate yourself from that main crowd of people that are saturating everything is also finding the right teachers or mentors to actually guide you through it and teach you what they are doing, because most likely your mentor or teacher is going to be a 5%, top 5% Amazon seller, top 10% Amazon seller, and they are not doing what the crowd does, because if they were doing what the crowd does, then they would not be successful themselves. So you need to find a mentor or teacher that is a 5-10% seller, and you need to learn from them, because they will teach you the secrets and the tips and everything that the rest of the crowd won't be doing. And a lot of the information on YouTube can totally teach you how to sell on Amazon, but remember, if you just learn the basics of selling on Amazon, you still won't be successful. You need to know the secrets that only the 5 or 10% of sellers actually use and incorporate into their business, or else you are just being another guinea pig and following the absolute bare minimum basics, and that will not work, trust me. So you need to learn from someone who actually knows how to be different than all the other thousands of sellers that are just, storming the market from YouTube videos, learning from other courses that are outdated and courses that have thousands of students in it, and they don't have one-on-one mentorship or help in those courses. So they are really not getting any extra help or tips or tricks from a actual 5 or 10% seller. They're just following a course step by step, and thousands of other people are doing it step by step. Then all of you can't be successful. So clearly it won't work if you are following that route. You need to find someone who will teach you and actually focus on you to get you to success, and actually teach you things that are not taught to thousands of people. Now, the next thing that you guys need to be doing is differentiating, and this also comes again with don't follow the crowd. So most people end up posting a product that they found, it looks good to sell, they go to their supplier on Alibaba, they message them, they get their product sourced for cheap or whatever, and then they sell it on Amazon. And they didn't do anything to improve upon the competition, to make anything stand out amongst the competition. They did absolutely nothing. They just became one of the other saturated sellers that are selling all the same products. Now, I'm here on Amazon, and I'm going to show you an example of why you need to differentiate and why you will fail if you don't differentiate, and a little bit of advice of how you can differentiate. So here's an example of a product that you would have a really hard time differentiating, yet a ton of people have been emailing me and asking me if they should go with this product. And my answer is no, because now it has become saturated with all these sellers who are doing the same exact things. That's why they're all finding the same products, and then they are doing nothing to change it. So they're all selling the same product, they're changing it not at all. And why would anyone buy from you or the competition? There's nothing that separates that. You need separation that should show why people are and should buy from you, opposed to buying from anyone in the competition. And you do that through differentiation, by changing your product, making it different and better than the competition. That will make people want to buy your product over the competition. Now, for these plastic cups that everyone has been messaging me about and asking me if they should sell them, they're all pretty much the same, and it's really hard to differentiate something so simple like this. And these are sold in packs of 100, 200 and up, and I highly recommend not starting with products that are sold in big packs like that, because usually products with big quantities are very competitive and have a very small profit margin. That is what I have found. So I like to stay away from products like this that come in packs of, this one's like 200, 100 here. So I like to stay away from products like that, especially if you are a beginner. Probably not a good idea to start a product like that. So now you go through here and you pretty much see that everything is pretty close to the same. It doesn't matter if they put a little bit of paint on it or a little bit of sparkles. That would change it a little bit, and that can definitely help with your sales. But for the most part, for me looking into this market now, it is way too competitive, and I don't recommend that anyone gets into it, because pretty much everything has been changed, everything has been done, because the crowd of people that use all the same criteria found this product pretty much at the same time and just started totally saturating the market with the same products over and over. So I bet you if I go down, I can probably go through 20 pages right here, and it would probably be all the same product, because that's how many people are selling these same exact cups, even though most aren't even differentiating their products. So they're all selling the same exact cup. So if you're on page 20, what is going to make someone on page 20, what is going to make a buyer buy their product over someone on page 1 who's selling the same exact thing? They won't. That's the simple answer, is they won't. They will buy from someone on the first page. They're not going to scroll to page 20 and buy the same product on page 1. It's not going to work. So that's why differentiating is important. That way they have an incentive, they have a reason to buy your product over the competition, because you offer something that the competition doesn't and something that the rest of the crowd doesn't. Now, a few ways you can differentiate is you can look through the reviews on a lot of these products and see what the previous buyers complain about. So if they complain that hey, the cup is too flimsy, or hey, the cup breaks too easy, then you can improve upon those things, especially if you get a lot of reviews saying the same things over and over. So if a ton of reviews keep saying these cups are too thin, these cups are too thin, these cups are too thin over and over, then that means that you may be able to get a thicker cup that is a higher quality, and you can compete with that person that is selling the flimsy cup and possibly take all their sales and put them out of business. That is the end goal. But for this, once again, this is so hard to differentiate, and they're sold in big packs of 100 or 200, making your profit margins very small and already making it hard to differentiate because they're pretty simple products. So if you are following the crowd, then most likely you will be one of the people trying to sell a product like this, because the crowd of people that are selling products like this generally learn from these same courses with thousands of people in them, or they're learning from YouTubers with tens and tens of thousands of subscribers. So now all those people are incorporating the same tactics, the same rules, the same criteria, and then eventually it will become saturated because all those people are doing the same exact thing. Now, the next thing I want to talk about is launching your product correctly. Now, a ton of people do not launch correctly or do not launch at all, and they have no idea how to launch even if they try to launch. So you also need to learn from someone who knows how to do this, because if you don't launch correctly, then you will fail as well, especially if you're trying to launch in a more competitive market like this market of the plastic cups. So launching, that includes things like PPC campaigns, testing them and seeing what works best. Also doing product giveaways, getting reviews through paid reviews, review groups, giveaways as well, different things like that to get reviews. You can also do other kinds of promoting, like Facebook ads or Instagram ads or influencer marketing. All these things work, and you need to incorporate all of them or most of them, or just try new things until something works, because every product will work differently with a different form of advertising. Some may work for influencer advertising and some may work for Facebook advertising. Everything is different, so you need to test what works best for you and what works best for your product and what you're best at, and that is what you need to stick with. Now, most people don't try any advertising at all, which will generate no sales, because if you're on page 20 and you have no reviews, you have no sales, you have no PPC campaigns, no advertisement, no one's going to see your listing, and you're going to get no sales and you're going to get nowhere. So you need to have a good, solid, proper product launch if you want to make any money selling, especially in more saturated markets like this with the herd of people who don't know how to launch correctly. So you need to be one of those 5 or 10% of the best sellers who know how to actually launch. And the last thing I need to talk about, because once again, I'm worried for a lot of you, because I do not want you to fall into that trap that everyone is falling into and then eventually come to me and ask for me to help and fix something that I can't fix because you went and did the wrong things. So the last thing I want to say is branding. You need to develop a brand around your product, and you can't simply just send in a product to Amazon without a logo, without anything on it. I get questions like that all the time. People always email me or leave comments on the video saying, hey, is it okay if I send a product to Amazon without a logo or any brand on it? And the answer is no, it is never okay to do that. So you need to develop a brand, and you can do this through having your own custom logos onto your products, which is so simple to do. All these things are so simple, but people just don't know how to do them. They didn't learn from the right people, or they're just too lazy to even try them. So launching is pretty simple if you know what you're doing and you learn from the right people. Developing a brand is simple because it's pretty easy. You just pay someone else to make a logo for you, and you can pay someone else to make custom packaging for you. Your supplier will do all the printing and everything. It's easy. All you are doing is going on your computer. There's nothing you really need to do other than send money to someone to create your logo or give to your supplier to produce. So all of these things are easier than you think, including differentiation, because people don't even go that extra yard to look at the reviews and see what people don't like, or they don't even look to see if their product that they are sourcing is even high quality or if it's low quality. They don't care. They just simply think if I post a product on Amazon and do nothing, then it will make me money. And that is never the case. So these things are easy as long as you know how to do them and you learn from the right person. As I said, branding will be very important if you want to successfully sell, especially in the long run. You will definitely need to develop a brand, and you can do that through a ton of different methods. And all these things I talked about in this video are all taught to my private students, and I also have a ton of connections to different businesses I use and I'm partnered with that give you discount codes and bring all your pricing down, especially shipping, and that is what saves you a lot of money, and that can help you compete in more competitive markets because you are saving more money, meaning you have more room to play with your pricing, and you can put your competitors out of business because you have more pricing fluctuation that you can play with. Basically, when you include all of these things that most of the people aren't doing, you will succeed. So you need to make sure that you are incorporating all these things I talked about, including a ton of other things that I teach that you need to incorporate if you want to succeed and not be like the rest of the herd who is doing all the same things and doing the bare minimum, because the bare minimum does not work. So that's pretty much all I wanted to say in this video. I just wanted to make sure that you guys, if you are watching my channel, that you do not make this mistake and you do not fall into the trap. And if you guys are totally serious about selling on Amazon, then I want you guys to email me and get more information about my private course and my private mentorship, because learning from the right person is what will make or break you as an Amazon seller. So that's going to be it for this one, guys. Make sure you guys go down below, click on the like button if I saved you at all. Also, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell to get notified every time I upload a new video. And last but not least, go down below, leave me a comment, let me know if you subscribed. Also, let me know if you have any questions, because I respond to every single comment. And that is it for this one, guys. Also, make sure you email me if you want to get into the private course. Also, you can email me if you just want to say hello. I love getting all the emails and I love hearing from all of you. And that's it. I will catch you guys in the next video.